Okay, but
So there's a lot of lying in the thing.
I don't dispute this line, but what you can't dispute, Bassem, is that clearly since 2005, Hamas has spent a fortune of money they could have spent differently with their people. They spent it on this sophisticated and extensive tunnel system.
The tunnel system that is bigger than the New York subway system?
It would appear so.
450 miles?
I don't know. Do you know how big it is?
Here's his famous last words, I don't know, having a moral quandary. Do you condemn? If so, regarding the latter, what is the proportional response? Do they have the right to defend themselves? Bassem Youssef steps into the ring for the verbal showdown with Piers himself. The mission? To survive Piers' relentless attempts to corner him with loaded questions and dramatic hypotheticals. But instead of being pinned down, Bassem turns everything into a masterclass of intellectual jiu-jitsu, dodging, flipping, and body slamming. Every weak argument you'll see. Mind you, this video is from about 3 months ago, but his mindset and Piers' lack of research leaves him sweating under the weight of his own contradictions till this day. Let's jump into it.
450. I mean, nobody. I think if there's 450 miles underneath the tunnel, we have seen droves and droves of tunnels. What we have seen is small rooms, very, very.
So you don't believe that there is?
No, I don't. No, I don't believe. Of course, there are tunnels, but I don't believe that there are like 450 miles because that's ridiculous. If you want to understand, you tell me that Hamas, under siege, were able to build a subway system bigger than New York in less than 15 years? I don't think.
Did they serve their people, though, with how they spent their money?
I'm not sure. I don't know. The thing is, like, there's a lot of propaganda. I don't know how much they spend on themselves. I don't know how much they spend on the tunnels. I don't know how much they spend on the people. But the thing is, these are all side talks. The main talk is the daily killing that's happening all through. Like, I mean, yeah, they could be bad people. They could be horrible people. They could be corrupt people.
Could be or are?
They are. Okay? They are horrible. They are vampires. They are zombies.
But do you believe that? Or are you just saying that for performative reasons?
No, I'm saying that because, again, I don't want to go and find the FBI at my door.
But I'd rather you were honest. I mean, surely we're at the stage of this war now, a year on, where I can find a lot to criticise with Netanyahu and his government, and I can find a lot to criticise with Hamas, with Hezbollah, with Iran. I can find a lot to criticise all over the place. I think as part of the problem is it's just an extraordinary mess with a lot of people who've been behaving badly. Yes. In my opinion, betraying their people and making it almost impossible to come together for peace.
So basically, we punish the Palestinians for being betrayed by Hamas, and we punish the Palestinians again by letting them get slaughtered every day.
You punish the Palestinians in the sense that you're exacting retaliation for a heinous terror attack on your people. That's what the Israelis say.
Fine. Okay.
Should they not have responded?
Who, Israel?
Yeah. On October the 8th, should their response have been to do nothing?
Oh, it's the question of like, what would I have done, right? Which is like one of the craziest questions ever. It's like, what would I have done? What would I have done if I magically got teleported into the body of a serial killer?
What should they have done?
Well, again, this is asking after the fact, Piers.
But what do you think now, looking back? What would have been a better course of action? Their argument, Israel, is they went after Hamas. They've just taken out the leader of Hamas, who was literally amongst people in Rafah, which was a refugee camp area. That's where he was hiding, and they killed him there. They say that justifies them going into Rafah. It's an arguable point, obviously, but you can't deny that Sinwar was hiding there. They also say that all of what they've been doing is a response to what happened to their people, and that they have to stop the group that did that from doing it again, which they're wedded to doing.
So what is their proportionate response?
Well, that's been the question I've asked for years.
Yeah, but like, I don't
know the answer.
That question kind of lost its validity after 1 month of the war.
Well, I've seen you say, for example, you've been critical of me saying, I only do what I do because I'm after clicks, I'm after...
I never said that about you.
You did.
No.
No, you did.
When?
We found it.
Where?
Let me find that clip. Where is it?
Where is it? Oh,
not a clip. No, it's an interview. Where is it?
Oh, okay.
Here we go. Yeah. So you said this.
Yeah.
You said at the Arab Media Forum in June. I don't know why people care that Piers Morgan changes his opinion.
Yes.
He's a man who seeks trends and increasing viewership. It's true.
Yes.
As he hosts people and sits with them to raise viewership numbers. Yes. His opinion isn't important at all because he only cares about what is trending and what people will talk about. So it doesn't matter that he changed his opinion. Piers is a man who has a media platform on which we appear to convey our ideas to his viewers, nothing more.
And there's nothing wrong with that. By the way, that's your job, actually, to get clicks and views. Because the question I was asked is, what do you think of Piers?
Implication of
does he change your mind? And I said, like, I don't care about him changing
I understand
his mind,
that.
because that's your job.
But the implication of what you were saying was that that's all I care about. And I don't actually care about what I genuinely care about, which is trying to work out what the world should think about this. What is the correct proportionate response from either side to any of the things that have happened? And I think it is morally complex. You find it morally more straightforward. I find it complicated. And I've wrestled with how I should think about this. I've gone on a bit of a journey. Now, it doesn't mean that, for example, I would find common ground with you about the way the Palestinian people have been treated for many decades. I do think it's been a form of occupation. I do think...
form of?
Yeah.
Not an occupation. Not a full-blown occupation.
As I said to Israelis when they come on, I don't know how you can argue that it's an occupation. I know you moved out in 2005, but the reality is once this war started...
They didn't move out.
Well, once they formally moved out...
You basically went out of the room and you locked the room and you basically controlled the perimeter of the room.
I was about to say, after October the 8th, when they began to turn off the water supply, the food supply, the power and so on, it was quite clear they still wield power.
But that was going on since 2006.
No, I understand.
That never stopped.
So I'm agreeing with you.
You know what Dove Wise...
I'm agreeing with you.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, clearly that is a form of occupation. Otherwise, it wouldn't have the power
It's an
to do it.
occupation, not a form.
Yeah. I mean, look...
It's like saying it's a form of terrorism.
Okay, I take that point.
Yeah.
Let's call it an occupation. And it has to end. And in my view, I've always hoped and believed there should be a two-state solution. Do you believe that is even remotely achievable now?
I don't know, because the thing is, you created a mess. You completely destroyed all kinds of...
We say me. What do you mean
No,
me?
not you.
Right.
I mean, I'm like you as...
Don't look at me when you say that. I'm not creating any mess.
Like you created the mess as like you as the stronger part in the conflict. The thing is, it is very... it's very disappointing to see. I know that you mean well, but you are trying to two-sided. I found this is mistake. No, but
there are two sides.
No, yes, but one side of
you're too one-sided, and understand why.
Okay.
You know, your wife has family in Gaza. I get it, right? You're going to be one-sided. That's why I've asked you at the start of the interview. When you look back over since 1948, do you find anything to criticise on your side? And your inability to articulate any response to that makes me think you are too one-sided. Do you accept that?
If I met Mike Tyson on the streets and I kicked him and he responded by kicking me in the face, killing me, yes, I did, but like he has a lethal weapon, his hands.
Yeah.
Israel is 100, 1,000 times stronger, and they have the whole of the support, all of the money.
But here's my analogy for you with the Mike Tyson thing. If you had taken thousands of people and you'd gone to Mike Tyson's house and you committed atrocities on his extended family and friends, raping them and killing them and setting people alive. Well, I know you don't believe there was any sexual abuse.
No, I don't believe.
Well, there was sexual abuse.
We can talk about that.
Well, we will come to that, but I think it's inarguable. It's been investigated by the United Nations, established
Have
by
you read the report?
Well, I've had journalists who I respect more than any in the world.
Have you read the report?
There is indisputable evidence of sexual abuse.
Okay, let's talk about that when it comes.
We will. Well, and we'll agree to differ, I'm sure. But my point is, I believe it has been established. But putting aside that, you don't dispute people were killed. You don't dispute people were set on fire. You don't dispute any of the stuff that happened on October the 7th that we saw through Hamas's own cameras, right?
Yeah,
you don't dispute what we saw with our own eyes.
I know what I've seen, and of course, and as a matter of fact, I've seen many of them. Yes, it's terrible.
Okay.
But
so my point is, if you did all that to Mike Tyson's family, and then he...
But I'm not going to be...
Well, hang on.
It's a one-to-one man. It's not 1,000 to
one.
But
if you did all that, and then he punched you in the face and killed you, would you feel that was justified?
No, but the thing is...
No?
Sir, you're trying to...
You're
trying to...
Well, I'm throwing your analogy back at you.
You're trying... No, that's not the wrong... I'm saying like me and Mike Tyson, man to man, and he's much stronger than me. I'm not going to show up with like 1,000 person. So if you want to do the analogy, you need to modify the analogy again. And the thing is, I think it's like, we always ask what Israel should do, but we never ask what should the Palestinians do. Because, I mean, I know that there's like really great examples. I mean, there are some peaceful examples. There's a beautiful boy called Mido. He's 19 years old. He's an exchange student in Texas. And he was moved from one safe zone to the other, and he ended up into a safe zone, and he was farming. He had a beautiful, beautiful garden, and he was farming, and he was blogging about it. His mom died because of lack of medicine, but he continued to farm. And you know what happened to him? He was killed in an airstrike. You asked me about the Nelson Mandela, and there's a man called Ahmed Abu Trema. He was inspired by the civil rights movements and the anti-apartheid movement in South Africa, and he toured the churches and the schools and the colleges in the United States, and he came back, and Israel hit him in an airstrike, killing 5 of his family, including his son, and he was injured. If Palestinians march, they get killed. If they throw a stone at a tank, they get killed. If they sit at home quietly, someone will come in and take their home away and they kill them. If someone just like picking up olives, that they will kill him. So what would they decide? And I don't know, like...
But it sounds to me like what you're doing, you're constructing...
That's like I'm justifying October 7th, right?
No, I'm going to put words in your mouth, but it sounds to me like you're saying, what else did you expect?
Yeah, what else do you accept? If you treat people like animals, they will behave like animals, Piers.
So you accept they behave like animals?
Yeah, some of them did, yes. Some of them did, yes. Like, yeah,
I mean, there were 3,000 of them.
Yeah. But,
entering
yes.
at 13 different points.
So 13,000, 3,000?
3,000 Hamas at 13 entry
So
points.
for that, you
Israel.
kill 50,000 people.
Well, they killed 1,200 people. They kidnapped over 250.
No. I said like Israelis, for that, they kill 50,000
Well, hang on.
people.
I'm about to give you the numbers as we now believe them. So 1,200 people were killed, of which 400 were believed to be military. Then you had nearly 7,000 more people who were wounded, many of them irrevocably badly. You had over 250 people kidnapped, including a baby who's never been returned, Holocaust survivors, grandparents, and so on. And my question is really, I'm not sure what you would have expected Israel to do, but more pertinently, what should they have done?
Well, I don't know, Piers, because...
But you've got to have some idea. You can't just say what you did is wrong.
Yeah.
You've got to have a thing of, given what happened to them, given that huge blow to their country and to their people, given that Hamas said we're going to keep doing this to you, what should Israel have done?
So let's nuke Gaza, right? I mean, that's like...
They haven't nuked Gaza.
They
could have done.
They have dropped
They
bombs.
could have done.
Yeah,
I mean, my argument to those who say it's genocide is, if they'd wanted to, Israel has the ability to blow up the whole of Gaza now. They haven't done that.
So...
If you really are genocidal, why wouldn't you do that?
If people are still around, it's not a genocide. If monkeys are still alive, how there's no...
Well, you have 2 million people residing in Gaza,
Yeah.
of which over 42,000 have been killed.
Yes. Yeah, okay.
Is that genocide after a year?
So what's the threshold?
Well, it's not. My point is that if you're waging genocide, Israel has the capability to kill all 2 million people very quickly.
How about too much killing? Is that good?
I think there has been too much killing.
Yeah. How about extreme
But I don't think it's a
termination of life?
I don't think it's a
I mean, if you don't
genocide.
like the G word, we can.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a genocide, is it?
We're wasting our time in definitions.
Well, we're not, because it's important, because what is genocidal is what Hamas has said they want to do to Israel.
What did they say to do?
They want to eradicate Israel.
Is according to their charter?
Yes.
Which charter?
Well, their original charter said that.
And then what happened in 2017?
Well, I'd rather go forward to what happened.
No. But what happened?
No, hang on.
Like you've been because you're.
I know they
using this-
rewrote the charter.
Yeah, but why don't you say that?
Because
Your bosses, your corporate shadows above, and your investors wouldn't appreciate you accepting the truth. Bassem Youssef walks away victorious, obviously. When Piers tried the classic Hamas wants to destroy Israel argument, Bassem effortlessly reminds him that the charter was actually rewritten in 2017, leaving Piers scrambling for a comeback. Then came the real checkmate. Piers' desperate attempt to both sides the situation, painting Israel and Palestine as equal players in this conflict. But Bassem flipped every analogy back on him, exposing the absurdity for comparing a nuclear-backed military force to an occupied and besieged people. By the end, Piers was left with little more than rhetoric gymnastics, while his investors were probably whispering, "Just take the L, mate." It's the double standard for me. It's the blatant hypocrisy that I wish to expose of Piers Morgan. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I hope to catch you all on the next one. Cheers.